of electronic engineering. So I was told to actually give some motivational advice to you guys. So based on what I saw from my students, my first advice would be do not worry about what if. What if I fail? What if I do not succeed? Why worried about the future when you still have to deal with the present? Okay, why make yourself worried twice? Worried about it when the problem is there in front of you. Alright? So, do not worry about it now because you don't even know if the problems is going to exist in the future or not. Cross the bridge when it's there. Do not jump to the other side because if you jump, you die. Okay, people need to know that life is actually full of uphills and also downhills. But people also are too afraid of failures. Because it's already so hard to climb to the top that you are so afraid to go back down. But remember, even if you are to go back down, you just simply have to set your mind that is another starting point for you to actually climb up to another greater top. Another greater top for you to reach. Alright? Okay, because life, when you look back, is very beautiful. Okay? And guys, life goes beyond SPM. SPM is not everything. Okay, so life goes beyond that. Enjoy your life, live a happy life, make yourself a happy person. Okay? So with that, I wish you guys all the best for your SPM. I hope that you gain a lot of information through these programs, and that's it from me. Thank you. Bye.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, good afternoon to Cikgu Francisca and all participants. Thank you for your time today. Salam sejahtera kepada semua hadirin. Pengingatan mesra untuk semua hadirin dalam talian. Okay, ini merupakan bengkel ulang kaji SPM IBUS kedua Kimia Anjuran RIAMTEC bersama pejabat pendidikan daerah Miri. A very good afternoon to all guests. A fair reminder to all, this event is the IBUS SPM Revision Workshop 2.0 for Chemistry, organized by RIAMTEC in collaboration with the Miri District Education Office. Okay, for your information, the event will start in 2 minutes. Okay. Hello all. For your information, for all participants, please fill in the Google form that has been sent by my colleague in the chat. You may find the link in the chat box, and you can fill it for your participation to get your e-certificate and also for your attendance purpose. Thank you. Okay, the event is about to start now. So, greetings to selamat tengah hari and salam sejahtera kepada yang dihormati Cikgu Francisca Lau, penceramah kita pada hari ini, pengetua-pengetua sekolah, guru-guru dan pelajar sekalian. This is Wan Yin. I am Wan Yin, the course counselor from RIAM Institute of Technology Miri, who will be your moderator for today. Terima kasih atas penyertaan para hadirin ke bengkel ulang kaji SPM Ibus Kimia Anjuran RIAMTEC bersama pejabat pendidikan daerah Miri. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. We appreciate you taking time off your busy schedule to join us today. Okay, so sebelum memulakan bengkel ulang kaji SPM Ibus Kimia pada hari ini, to kick off the program, please allow me to introduce our today's speaker by reading her profile. Okay, so this is Miss Francisca Lau, our tutor of the day. So she is the head of chemistry subject who is currently teaching chemistry subject in SMK Methodist. She has been a guru cemerlang for 13 years. Wow. And with an academic qualification in Bachelor of Science Education. What a great achievement from Cikgu Francisca. Everyone, please welcome Cikgu Francisca by reacting, by giving some reaction. You can click on the reaction below. All right. Okay. So before the session starts, all right, thank you everyone. Okay, before the session starts, if the students have any question during the session, please share your question in the chat option at any time and your question will be read during the Q&A session later on. All right, so without further delay, let me pass the floor to Miss Francisca. Over to you, Cikgu Francisca.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, so hello everyone. So today we would like to coming out with the slot for a chemistry fast revision. So I believe that all of you are already familiar with the construct of the chemistry. So what are those important parts that will be tested in our chemistry paper? So you're already familiar with it. Next, you should also familiar with the format because you have to start to do your revision with your paper 1, okay, with your paper 2 and your paper 3, right? So yeah, paper 3, we have did it one time for the JPN Amali, the Sabadu, together with physics and biology. So I think you are very familiar with the paper 1. So that altogether they have 40 questions. And then paper 2, you have 8 structural questions. And then section B, you have 2 essay questions, dua, pilih, satu. And section C, 1 essay questions. And you're going to answer it all, right? So this is the format. Then how about the chemistry part that we want to do the discussion for today? So I try my best to share with you the first revisions of the questions in structural and essay. So I try to focus on more essay questions since many students will say that essay is a very challenging part. Because of what? Because they say that I don't understand the question, then how are you going to expect that you need to answer the questions. So what is the secret behind chemistry? So the secret behind chemistry is you're gonna to read the questions carefully, you're gonna to understand the questions carefully, and then you're gonna to answer it. So this is the technique that we want to apply when you want to answer the questions in your chemistry paper. Yeah. So now you can come up with the first question. So first question, I would like you to have a look with this a simple one. So anyone, do you know that which chapter you have the questions with the water pipe? So you can have your water pipe now. So the water pipe, okay, or part IA. So I try to use bilingual, so meaning that I can read the BN version. Maybe this question I start with BN version, another question I will start with the English version. So that to be fair lah. So coming up with the question, so part IA mengandungi polymer X yang terdiri daripada unit asas. So formula struktur bagi formula X, okay, adalah di dalam gambar raja. So you can see the water pipe, and then you can see the structural formula here. Then now I want you to have a look with the question here. So the main idea here, we want to come up with the question. So what is meant by polymer? So when they come up with definition question, you must able to answer the questions very, very well, because it come up with the idea on how you answer it. Then many of us will say that, teacher, we found that a difficulty when we remember the definition. So I would like to share you the technique, a small technique. So can you see the keyword here is polymer? What is meant by poly? Poly means many. What is the meaning of mer? Monomers. So many monomers. After many monomers join together, then it can form you with a long chain of molecule. So molecule berantai panjang terhasil daripada pencantuman banyak ulangan unit asas, ataupun kita panggil dia sebagai monomer. So you can see that the keyword here, poly, means many. Mer means many monomers. So a long chain of molecule that is made up of many repeating basic units or monomers. So you can find out that. So can you tell me what is the name of this monomer? So some of the students will say that, oh, this is a PVC pipe. Yeah. So state the name of the basic unit, okay, form polymer X. So since we know that it's a PVC. PVC, what's the name for PVC? Polyvinyl chloride. So we highlight with the name of polymer. So when you see polymer, at the back, the mer is the monomer or the basic unit. So polyvinyl chloride, we can name it as vinyl chloride or vinyl chloride. But some of them, they say that, can I name it as a, or can I give the name as a ethene? Okay, chloroethene. Yes, we do accept it if you can give it the name as a chloroethene as well. So we also name it as a chloroethene. So we can also accept it if you tell me that this is a chloroethene. So after you know the name of chloroethene, are you able to draw the structural formula? Yes, some of them, they say that by using vinyl chloride, we are not able to draw it, right? But by referring to the chloroethene, then you know that, oh, this is the alkene family. Then you are able to draw your structure correctly, right? Then we can find it out here. Okay, you are able to solve the problem. Okay, you can solve the problem, and then you can write down the name. So after that, you can draw the structural formula easily. So C double bond C, and then H, and then Cl. Measure that we must have carbon double bond, and you're going to measure that we have 4 single covalent bond. Yeah, simple and nice. Then what we connect to highlight with the next question here. So can you tell me that what is the advantage of this type of pipe compared to the metal pipe. So we all know that, okay? So we install the PVC pipe. Why we want to install the PVC pipe? Yes, because the PVC pipe does not corrode, or does not corrode. So tidak menghakis. So the following, they have one question to let you to think about this. Boleh beri satu sebab, okay, mengapa polimer X tidak boleh dilupuskan dengan pembakaran terbuka? Can we burn the plastic? Can we burn the PVC? Then you say that tidak boleh. Why cannot? Okay, why cannot? Then you will tell me that because the burning of polymer X, it will produce a acidic gas or a toxic gas, or the toxic gas. So this is how we are able to find out that the questions in the polymer. So this is a sample questions of the structural question. Okay, maybe in your questions 1 or your questions 2. Okay, so first question, I choose the polymer. Then can we proceed with the next? Are you ready for the next questions here? So next question, soalan kedua. So soalan kedua ialah apa? Okay, I show you a little bit of the hint. Okay, so you can see that diagram 4 shows a electron arrangement of a compound NH3 and NAF, right? So when you look at these two compounds, then what is in your mind? Apakah dalam ingatan Anda? Jadi, kamu akan lihat nitrogen, hydrogen, natrium, fluorine. So, kamu akan tahu ini adalah unsur bukan logam. Manakala ini adalah unsur logam dan unsur bukan logam. So how we can find out that the formations of the compound? So in the question, you will find that, oh, the questions is regarding ionic compound and covalent compound. So which one is the ionic compound? Which one will be referring to your, okay, which one will referring to your covalent compound? So we can see this idea of the question. So you will find out that no matter atom and no matter atom. So ini adalah covalent kan. So this is a covalent compound. So why? Because it's made up with a non-metal atom, bukan logam, unsur bukan logam. Manakala ini ada charge, ada charge. Kalau ada charge, meaning that dia adalah ionic compound. So we can have an idea, this is ionic compound. When you have ionic compound, then you can see that it will be made up with a metal atom and the non-metal atom. This is how we tackle the question. So if there is a covalent compound is made up with atoms, ions, or molecule, terdiri daripada zarah-zarah apa? Maka dia adalah terdiri daripada molecule. If ionic compound, then it will be made up with ion. So number 1, we need to analyze the questions first. Jadi mesti mengetahui apakah jenis kespatian yang terbentuk. Bagaimana kita tahu? Kita tengok unsur yang digunakan. Jadi soalan yang pertama di sini, what is nyatakan jenis ikatan dalam kespatian ini? Jadi NH3 covalent ataupun covalent. Ada pelajar dia akan menjawab soalan sebegini. Kespatian covalent compound. Is it correct if we add in a compound at the back? No, it's incorrect. Why? Because the question asks for type of bond or type of bond, jenis ikatan. So your answer can be only have covalent or covalent, ion or ionic. Or you cannot write down compound at the back. Tidak boleh tulis perkataan kespatian. Soalan yang seterusnya, soalan yang sangat-sangat popular. Selalu akan ditanyakan kepada anda. Okey, boleh bandingkan suhu takat lebur dan takat tidak seperti yang NH3 dan NAF. Jadi bagaimana kita buat perbandingan di sini? Jadi kita sudah tahu daripada konsep seperti yang kovalen mempunyai takat lebur, takat tidak yang lebih rendah daripada seperti yang ion. Jadi di sini boleh kita tulis perkataan seperti yang kovalen dan seperti yang ion? Tidak boleh. Tetapi kita mesti menjurus kepada bahan yang diberikan. Mesti spesifik. Bahan yang diberikan. Kalau bahan diberikan di sini adalah NH3, NAF, kita kena gunakan dia. Jadi takat lebur, takat tidak, NH3, mestilah spesifik adalah lebih rendah berbanding dengan NAF. Or you refer to the English version. So, why? So, always ask yourself, why? Mengapa? Kenapa? Dan siapa? Kamu akan ingat bagaimana menjawab soalan ini. Untuk seperti yang kovalen, dia adalah terdiri daripada molekul. Manakala untuk seperti yang ion, dia adalah terdiri daripada ion. Jadi, ikatan, daya tarikan antara molekul adalah lemah, tetapi daya tarikan antara ion adalah sangat kuat. Jadi, itulah sebab takat lebur, takat tidaknya berbeza. Jadi, kita bagaimana terangkan di sini? Kita mesti nyatakan, they have two ways for you to answer. One is a BN version and one in the English version. Jadi, BN, kita akan nyatakan, ion di dalam NAF. Mesti nyatakan apa sana? Ion di dalam NAF ditarik oleh daya elektrostatik yang kuat. Manakala molekul-molekul di dalam amonia ditarik oleh daya tarikan van der Waals yang lemah. Kita boleh buat penerangan seperti ini. Ion. Tetapi ramai pelajar sebenarnya mereka akan tulis NAF ditarik oleh daya tarikan elektrostatik yang kuat. Manakala NH3 ditarik oleh daya tarikan yang lemah ataupun van der Waals yang lemah. Jadi bahagian ini kamu kena menitik beratkan istilah ion dan istilah molekul kerana selalu dilupakan. Jadi kita boleh buat perbandingan, lebih banyak haba diperlukan untuk mengatasi daya tarikan pada NAF berbanding dengan NH3. Jadi istilah mengatasi ini adalah penting. Mengatasi daya tarikan. Tidak boleh menggunakan istilah memutuskan. So the ions in NAF are attracted by strong electrostatic forces, while the molecules in NH3 are attracted by weak van der Waals forces. So more heat is needed to overcome the force of attraction in NAF than NH3. So this is the term of heat. So you need to write down heat, or you need to write down heat or heat energy. So can we just write energy? No, it must be the term of heat, right? Okay, so next question. Do you think that ammonia soluble in water? How do you think that ammonia soluble in water? Then many of you will think about it. Ammonia is a covalent compound. Is it ammonia soluble in water? Yeah. So the question, if you're referring to the physical property of covalent compound, then you say that, covalent compound cannot dissolve in water. But please don't forget that ammonia soluble in water. Why ammonia soluble in water? Mengapa ammonia larut dalam air? Jangan lupa, ammonia ini adalah apa? So ammonia, mereka ada hydrogen bond. Because ammonia is bonded with hydrogen, right? So, kalau dia bonded dengan hydrogen, apakah kriteria untuk kita mempunyai hydrogen bonding? H mesti bonded to the phone, so handphone. Okay, maka dia boleh mewujudkan hydrogen bond dengan apa? Okay, kalau air, jadi dia boleh wujudkan hydrogen bonding dengan oxygen pada satu lagi molekul di sini. So, do you think that ammonia can soluble in water? Yes, ammonia can soluble in water because of what? Because ammonia can formule with hydrogen bonding with water molecule. So, hydrogen bonding, it must be formed in between two molecules. So you are able to answer the questions well, right? Okay, no problem. Then it's time for us to have one question that involves a little bit of calculation. How to wake you up, okay, in the afternoon time. Yeah, so what is the following question? Yeah, your favorite topic, thermochemistry. Yeah, so questions 2, I choose the chemical bond, ikatan kimia. Seterusnya, ramai pelajar suka thermokimia. Jadi saya pilih thermokimia untuk sedikit perhitungan. Jadi soalan di sini, okay, Raymond carry out an experiment to determine the heat or precipitation for the reaction between silver nitrate solution and sodium chloride solution. In this experiment, 25 centimeter cubic of 0.5 molar silver nitrate solution is added in 25 centimeter cubic of 0.5 molar sodium chloride solution. So the heat of precipitation in this experiment was minus 63 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so what is the information that is important information in this question? Number 1, yeah, we need to know that 25 centimeter cubic of 0.5 molar silver nitrate, and then 25 centimeter cubic of 0.5 molar sodium chloride solution. Another information over here is minus 63 kilojoule per mole. So do you think that this reaction is exothermic or endothermic? Okay, exo or endo? So this is exo or endo? How we know this is exo? Based on the value negative sign here, we can say that, oh, this is negative sign. If negative sign, this is exothermic reaction, or this is exothermic reaction. And you can find out that, okay, the reaction must release heat. So heat is released, or heat is released to surrounding for this question. So the question number 1, what is the meaning of heat of precipitation? Okay, dalam tajuk termokimia, okay, apa yang penting definisi untuk semua haba tindak balas. So, for example, heat of precipitation, heat of displacement, heat of neutralization, and heat of combustion. All the definitions are important, which you need to highlight. So why definitions is important? Once you know that definition, you know that how you're going to solve the problem, what you're going to find to solve the problem, the information that you need to use to solve the problem. So now I want you to have a look with the question, what is meant by the heat of precipitation? Heat of precipitation, we would like to say that heat change, perubahan haba, or heat release. How we know? Because of minus sign. So heat release when one more of precipitate is formed from where? From its ions in aqueous solution. Perubahan haba ataupun haba dibebaskan apabila satu mol mentakan terbentuk daripada ion-ionnya dalam larutan aqueous. Jadi, apakah gambaran lagi dalam soalan ini? Soalan ini dia hanya bagi kita haba pementakan. Jadi, apa yang perlu kita buat seterusnya? So, the next question, they will always ask you to write down the form ionic equation. So can you write down the ionic equation? No problem. So what are the ions that are combined to form the precipitate? Apakah ion yang bertindak balas dan menghasilkan mendakan? Jadi kita tahu silver chloride. So silver ion react with chloride ion, then you have silver chloride. So you can find out this answer actually from the sentence here. Mendakan precipitate is formed from its ion. That's why this sentence, it helps you to write down the ionic equations correctly. So precipitate is formed from its ion. So for this question, can you tell me that how many more of silver chloride that will be formed? So any one of you want to try out the question? So you can calculate. I show you here. So you are given with 25 centimeter cubic, 0.5 molar, and 0.5 centimeter cubic, 0.5 molar silver chloride. So you are able to calculate the number of mole. How? N equal to NV over 1000. The number of mole of silver chloride formed, it must same as the number of mole of silver ion or chloride ion, right? So that's why 0.5 times 25 divided by 1000, you have 0.0125 mole. So you are able to find out that the number of mole. So next question, how much heat is released? Or how much heat is released? So how much heat is released in this reaction? Because in the questions here, you know that the information given is the delta H is equal to minus 63 kilojoule per mole. So what is the meaning? Meaning that when 1 mole of silver chloride is formed, 63 kilojoule of heat is released. Then in this experiment, how many more of silver chloride is formed? How many more of the silver chloride is formed? So we go back here, it's 0.0125. So some of the students, they want to use a comparison. When 1 mole of silver chloride is formed, then 63 kilojoule of heat is released. Therefore, if we have 0.0125 mole, so meaning that you can use a cross multiply. So AgCl, then how much of heat is released? So cross multiply means 0.0125 times with 63. You will get the same answer, 0.7875 kJ. Or they have another way, you just go ahead. So heat change equal to what? Okay, heat change equal to mole times delta H. Okay, so they have 2 ways for you to find out your answer. Then some of you say that, oh, I get the same answer. Yeah, you get the same answer by using comparison, or the formula actually is the same. So now the following question, they ask you to find that the change in temperature. What's the change in temperature? Yeah. So it's a very sensitive question. There's many students make mistakes over here. What is a mistake? Because students normally, they don't change the unit. They just get 0.7875 kJ, okay, to bring there for their calculation. So what is a mistake here? I want you to have a look with the specific heat capacity over here. 4.2 joule per gram per degree Celsius, right? So you can see that this is a 4.2 joule per gram per degree Celsius. What is the unit here? The unit is okay, joule. The unit is joule. The unit is joule. So when you see joule, then the unit here is kilojoule. What are you gonna do? Yes, you're gonna to convert it. If you want to do the calculation for the change in temperature, you're gonna to convert it. You're gonna to convert it into this. Okay. You're going to convert it into unit of joule. So 0.7875. So 1 kilojoule equal to 1000 joule, right? So 0.7875 times 1000, you have 787.5. So which formula we use? So H equal to MC theta. So MC theta equal to H. So what is the total mass of solution? 25 plus 25, 4.2. Okay, theta, then you have 787.5. So you theta, you have 3.75, okay, degree Celsius. So you are able to find out that what is the change in temperature, right? So after you are able to find out that the change in temperature, so next question, you're going to think about that, how you're going to solve it. So here, okay, I don't show you the answer first, I show you the question first. If the experiment is repeated by 25 centimeter cubic of silver nitrate solution with 25 centimeter cubic of potassium chloride solution, how do you think about this? Can you predict the value of the heat of precipitation? Yeah, some of you will say that higher. Why higher? Some of you will say that because potassium is more reactive than sodium. Is it related to the reactivity of alkali metal? No, right? Okay, it's not the answer. Then some of you will say that. Some of you will say that. Oh, some of you will say that. Oh, it's less. Why it will be less? Because you say that, oh, because I found out that the number of moles is less. Is it number of moles is less? No. So how we are able to solve this type of question? So I want you to come up with this. If you cannot see the picture, the best way for you to solve the question is you write out the chemical equation. So if I use the silver nitrate reacted with potassium chloride, how am I going to get the answer? So you will say that, oh, I have a silver chloride and potassium nitrate. Oh, original question, we are using sodium chloride, right? Therefore, you have a AgCl and NaMO3. So when you change the when you change the sodium chloride to potassium chloride, is it you change the product? We don't change the product. So the product still AgCl. If the product is still the same, meaning that the value of the heat of precipitation will be the same. So still be you can write same, sama, or you copy down from the question, minus 63 kilojoule per mole. Why? Karena tindak balas hanya melibatkan silver ion and chloride ion. You see, your product is the same. So we can say that the reaction only involves silver ion and chloride ion. Or you can tell me that the product KMO3 and NaNO3, is it will affect the value is it will affect our product AgCl? No, right? So we also can say that the sodium ion and potassium ion, actually they are spectator ion. Ion penuntun ataupun ion pemerhati. Ion penuntun dan pemerhati bermaksud tidak terlibat dalam tindak balas or tidak terlibat dalam tindak balas. So you can coming up with this. So answer the question. So 1, 2, 3. Give comment with the heat of precipitation. Then give the explanation, means that reason to support your answer. So here you will find out that the questions will involve a calculation questions, means that chemical equation and then calculation. You must able, okay, to cope this part very, very well, because chemistry, they must have a question, chemical equation, and they must have a question coming out with problem solving. So here is the 3 structural questions. So what are the topics that we want to do the revision for the next? So just now we had polymers, okay, thermochemistry, and then chemical bonds. So next question, I would like to choose the easy questions for you all. So first question in this, I would like you to take note with it. Okay, diagram. Okay, diagram 7 shows the reaction between the element X, Y, and sodium with oxygen gas. With oxygen gas. Jadi semua orang sangat familiar diagram ini kan. Balang gas, unsur Y, di sini dia tulis unsur Y, gas oxygen. So if I want to ask you the question, what are the products that will be formed? So this is the metal, okay, alkali metal. When a metal reacted with acid, so what is the product? When a metal reacts with oxygen, you already know that the product will be referring to a metal oxide. Yes, this is a metal oxide. Logam oksida. Jadi soalan dia, okay, tengok soalan dia. Baca soalan dan fahamkan soalan. Okay, dalam jadual ini, maka unsur X membakar dengan sangat terang. Ingat di sini perkataan sangat terang. Very brightly. White solid is formed. Pepecah putih terbentuk. Y membara dengan terang. Membara. Glow. Glow. Okay, I can draw you with a flag. Glow. Okay. Okay, burns very brightly. Okay. Then coming out with sodium. Okay, sodium burns brightly. So you can see the term here. Sodium burns membakar dengan terang. Membakar dengan terang. Burns brightly. So now you will find out that according to this X, Y, sodium, mana paling reaktif? Manakah satu paling reaktif? Okay, kamu akan bagi tahu saya, it should be a X paling reaktif kerana membakar dengan sangat terang. Mana paling tidak reaktif dalam tindak balas dengan gas oksigen? Jadi kamu akan kata, why? Okay, mana sodium? Sodium, natrium di tengah-tengah. So when you look at this, then you will think about that. This is regarding the alkali metal. So when we talk about alkali metal, what will happen? How is the changes in the reactivity of the alkali metal? Bagaimana perubahan kereaktifan dia? Jadi kamu akan tahu kereaktifan dia bertambah. Reactivity increases. Reactivity increases over here when going down the group. Okay, when going down the group. So this is the idea. Then the question here, okay, after you analyze the question, we go for the question. So based on table 2.1, okay, merujuk kepada jadual susun X, Y dan sodium mengikut tertib menaik size atom. Bagaimana tertib menaik size atom? Jadi kita tahu, okay, semakin reaktif, kedudukannya semakin di bawah dalam kumpulan satu. So if the metal is more reactive, means that the metal, their position will be lower in the reactivity series. So how are we going to find out that the change in the size of atom? So 2 shell, then 3 shell, and then 4 shell, getting larger. So question 1, kamu mesti faham soalan di sini. Susun atom X, Y dan sodium. Okay, arrange X, Y, and sodium. Increasing order means from small to big. Okay, from small to big. Next, compare the reactivity, bandingkan, okay, bandingkan, okay, reactivity element X, Y with oxygen. Di sini dia hanya nak tengok X dan Y sahaja. Bukanlah, tak perlulah kita buat perbandingan. Okay, kita tak perlulah buat perbandingan dengan sodium. Hanya X dan Y sahaja. Okay, terangkan jawapan anda. So, apa yang perlu kita terangkan di sini? Yes. Pertama, kita mestikan susun. Okay, ada 2 bahagian. Jadi saya tunjukkan. Satu ialah bahasa BN, satu ialah English. So I go to the English one. So how to arrange Y, sodium, and X. Okay. Jadi kalau kita sudah susun, okay, then soalan kedua, bandingkan kereaktifan. Okay. Compare the reactivity. So X is more reactive than Y, right? Then when you say that X is more reactive than Y, why? So when you want to explain the reactivity, kalau nak explain reactivity, kamu mesti nyatakan apa? Yes, ini. Okay, atomic size. Okay, size atom dia. Okay, Y. Okay, size dia lebih. Okay, so satu ialah 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see that, right? You can see that. So I draw it so that it's easy for you to have a look with it, the electron. So why we would like to say that X is more reactive than Y? Okay, kita bandingkan size. Jadi untuk penerangan kereaktifan sebenarnya adalah berdasarkan manakah satu atom lebih senang mendermakan elektron. Yang atom yang lebih senang menderma elektron, atom itu akan menjadi, unsur itu akan menjadi lebih reactive. So we like to say that X is more reactive than Y. Because the atomic size of X is atomic size of X is bigger than Y. So this one is Y. Then how are we gonna to explain it? Then we say that the distance between nucleus and valence electron in atom X is further, or atom X is further. So once the distance between the nucleus and valence electron in atom X is further, then what will happen? So force attraction between the nucleus and valence electron in atom X is weaker, or atom X is weaker. Therefore, atom X is easier to donate electron. So you are coming out with this explanation so that you can see the whole picture there. So reactivity. So based on the diagram, you are able to analyze the information and then you explain the reactivity. So this is question part 1 regarding the reactivity of alkali metal. So how about the next question here? So given that 0.02 mole of sodium oxide will react with water to form 100 centimeter cubic of sodium hydroxide. Can you calculate the molarity of sodium hydroxide for? What is the formula for molarity? Molarity is MOL minus 3, right? MOL, dN minus 3, kepekatan, kemolaran. Jadi bagaimana kita selesaikan masalah ini? Okay, first of all, what we're going to do, yes, you need to write down the chemical equation. You need to write down the chemical equation. So sodium oxide, when sodium oxide dissolve in water, when sodium oxide dissolve in water, Na2O plus H2O, we have 2 NaOH. So Na2O, sodium oxide, when that dissolve in water, then it will form you with sodium hydroxide solution. So 2, 1, so we balance it with 2. Okay, then after this, how are we going to solve the question? So how many more? Because the question are asked for the sodium hydroxide, or the molarity of sodium hydroxide. Do you have number of mole of sodium hydroxide? We say that we don't have it. Then you're gonna to find it. So how are we going to solve the numerical problem? Langkah dia senang. Apakah langkah dia? Persamaan kimia, chemical equation. 2, find the mole. But the question already tell you the numbers of mole. Then what we need to do? Mole ratio, nisbah bilangan mole. Nisbah mole. Kita perlu cari nisbah mole yang perlu. Jadi apakah nisbah yang kita lihat di sini? Di sini kamu akan lihat Na2O. Ini type salah. So Na2O di sini adalah 1 mole kan. Jadi kalau kita ada 0.02 mole, maka dia akan menghasilkan berapa mole yang di sini? Jadi dia akan menghasilkan 2 NaOH. So mole ratio 1 to 2. Mole ratio 1 to 2, then here you can have a 0.02 0.02 to 0.04. Okay, so after that, you just need to substitute into your molarity N equal to NV over 1000. You just substitute into N equal to NV over 1000. So what is the molarity over here? So you can come up with this molarity because the question asks for molarity. So we want to find the M. Kita nak cari M. Jadi kalau kita nak cari M, jadi M sama dengan apa? Ya, mole times with 1000, then divided by what? What is the volume? Okay, volume is 100. So you need to rearrange it, then you can find your answer. So your answer will be 0.4 mole per decimeter cubic. Yeah. So this is how we solve the question one by one, part by part, right? Yes. Then after this question, they have another question for you. So many students very scared when they're asked to analyze the following questions, right? So you will find out that the following here, So jadual, okay. Jadual berikut menunjukkan pemerhatian, okay, bagi 3 oksida unsur pada kala 3. Jadi ditambah ke dalam mana? Okay, satu ialah larutan natrium hidroksida. Satu ditambah ke dalam acid nitric. So kamu tambahkan ke dalam 2 bahan di sini. 2. Jadi bagaimana kita nak lihat ini? Okay, they actually have one clue for you to remember the question, how to solve the problem. Kamu mesti tahu di sini kalau kita ada basic oxide, right? Basic oxide, it can react with only acid. Basic oxide, it can only react with acid. Okay, if we have an acidic oxide, kalau kita ada acid oksida acid, maka dia akan bertindak balas dengan apa? Dengan alkali sahaja. Kalau dia boleh bertindak balas dengan kedua-duanya, maka dia akan menunjukkan sifat apa? Menunjukkan sifat amphoteric. Amphoteric. So the best way for you to remember this one is kita ada tangan kiri. Okay? Tangan kiri kita ini bagaikan kumpulan 1, 2. So these two will show you the basic oxide. Basic oxide. Lepas itu kita ada satu tangan lagi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jadi ini menunjukkan kumpulan 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 memang tidak ada bertindak balas dengan apa-apa. Kerana apa? So because the group 18 element, the atoms have achieved a stable octet electron arrangement or tuplet electron arrangement. Tuplets is for helium. The rest is for octet electron arrangement. Jadi di sini dia adalah apa? Dia adalah acidic. Jadi kamu akan lihat satu lagi di mana? Satu lagi di sini. Jadi inilah akan menunjukkan kedua-duanya basic dengan acidic oxide. Sekiranya oksida bagi unsur itu dia boleh bertindak balas, okay? Dia boleh bertindak balas ataupun dia larut dalam asid, boleh bertindak balas dengan asid, maka dia adalah menunjukkan sifat tertentu. Jadi kita lihat bahagian ini. Okay, oxide of X quite solid dissolved. Termasuk oksida bagi X boleh bertindak balas dengan alkali. Ini adalah alkali atau dengan acid. Okay, dengan acid. Okay, boleh. Jadi apakah sifat-sifat disuntuk di sini? Maka X adalah amphoteric. Jadi kamu lihat oxide of Y, white solid dissolve, white solid cannot dissolve. Okay, jadi white solid dissolve bermaksud oksida Y larut dalam alkali tetapi tidak larut dalam asid. Kalau dia boleh bertindak balas dengan alkali, bermaksud dia adalah apa? Kalau dia boleh bertindak balas dengan asid, bermaksud ini adalah oksida acid. Oh, oksida acid. So acidic oxide. Last one, oxide of Z. White solid cannot dissolve. Tidak boleh bertindak balas dengan alkali. White solid dissolve in acid. Apa yang boleh bertindak balas dengan acid? Okay, jadi ini adalah basic oxide. Oh, jadi kita boleh lihat bahagian ini untuk menunjukkan bahagian-bahagian yang tertentu di sini. Okay, jadi kita akan lihat bahagian ini. Jadi kalau kamu sudah dapat, maka kamu akan dapati, oh kalau macam ini, okay, X mestilah di tengah-tengah. Manakala di mana Y menunjukkan sifat acid. Acid termasuk di belakang. Okay, kalau kita tengok Z mesti di depan. Jadi ini adalah susunannya Z, X dengan Y. Maka lepas kita buat analisis kepada soalan, kita mesti jawab. Based on the observation, can you suggest the oxide of X, oxide of Y, oxide of Z? Kan? Lepas tu bagaimana kita buat? Okay, terangkan. Okay. Terangkan. Kalau kita tidak dapat mencadangkan apakah oksida yang di X, Y dan Z ini, bagaimana kita boleh membuat penerangannya dengan baik? Lepas tu soalannya dia nyatakan apa? Write a chemical equation for the reaction between oxide of Z and nitric acid. Dia nak kamu tulis satu persamaan kimia di antara oksida logam Z dengan acid, nitric acid. Jadi dengan syarat utama, kamu mesti tahu apakah oksida X, Y, Z itu dengan tepat. Jadi X adalah apa? Jadi X menunjukkan sifat amphoteric, aluminium oksida ataupun Al2O3. Jadi kita boleh terima kedua-duanya. Kamu boleh tulis nama ataupun kamu boleh tulis formula dia. Okay, oksida bagi Y, okay, silicon dioksida ataupun kita boleh terima phosphorus pentoxide atau phosphorus trioxide. Mengapa? Kerana soalan dia ada nyatakan pepecah putih. Pepecah putih. Okay. Lepas tu, oksida bagi Z memanglah oksida bersifat base, natrium oksida ataupun magnesium oksida sahaja. Boleh tulis nama, boleh tulis formula. Jadi bagaimana kita buat penerangan seterusnya? So, mengapa kita ada huraian sebegini? Jadi, kita akan menunjukkan perbincangan kita. Oksida bagi X menunjukkan sifat amphoteric. Kerana dia menunjukkan sifat amphoteric, maka dia boleh bertindak balas dengan kedua-dua asid dan alkali. Bagaimana dengan oksida Y? Oksida Y hanya menunjukkan sifat asid. Mengapa? Kerana oksida bagi Y hanya boleh bertindak balas dengan alkali tetapi tidak dengan asid. Okay, jadi kita pun akan menunjukkan seterusnya oksida bagi Z menunjukkan sifat alkali kan? Jadi mengapa? Kerana oksida bagi Z boleh bertindak balas dengan asid tetapi tidak dengan alkali. So you are able to explain it part by part. Then next, just need to write down the chemical equation. Jadi untuk jawapan ini, kalau kamu tulis Na2O di atas, maka persamaan kimia dia mesti Na2O. Kalau kamu guna magnesium oksida di atas, maka di sini kamu mestilah tulis magnesium oksida. Jadi ini adalah soalan contohnya di dalam jadual pakai skala unsur tingkatan 4, periodic tables of elements. So this is one of the questions. So are you ready for the next question? Okay, are you ready for the next question? So I'd like you to take note with the following questions over here. So the next one is waiting for you. So which topic? Okay. So yeah, I choose the topic from the rate of reaction. Okay, rate of ration is a popular one, and yes, so students must know how to answer the questions for the rate of rations well. So table here shows what? Okay, jadual di sini menunjukkan dua keadaan yang berbeza semasa kamu melarutkan gula dalam air. Soalan situasi pertama. Fine sugar, gula pasir, easily to dissolve in hot water compared to cold water, right? Situasi kedua. Gula pasir is easier dissolved in cold water compared to sugar cube, gula cube. Jadi soalan ini adalah apa? Jadi banyak student will say that, oh, cube, they draw gula pasir. Oh, they draw. Okay, hot water. Okay, I just write 80 degrees Celsius. Okay, cold water. Maybe I write down 10 degrees Celsius here to let you to think about that, the picture. Oh, then you say that, oh, so fine sugar easily dissolved in hot water compared to cold water. Fine sugar is easier to dissolve in cold water compared to a sugar cube. Kalau saya tulis info ini di tepi, jadi apakah faktor yang akan mempengaruhi keterlarutan gula dalam air? Jadi pertama, dalam ingatan kamu, oh, suhu, temperature of water, temperature. How about number two? Then you say, oh, size of sugar. What size of sugar? One is a fine sugar, another one is a sugar cube. Okay, so by choosing one of the situation, state the factor that involved and explain how the factor affect the solubility. Jadi kamu boleh pilihlah mana-mana satu kamu nak terangkan situasi satu ataupun kamu nak terangkan situasi dua di sini. Jadi kita mula dengan situasi satu. We start with situations one. So if you want to come here with the situations one, then we like to say that that would be temperature. Actually, many students they will skip this sentence. They just think about that. Oh, the kinetic energy of the water molecule is higher. Some even use the coalition theory in their explanation. Soalan ini adakah dia minta kita menerangkan dengan coalition theory? Tidak ada. Jadi, dia ada berdasarkan konsep sahaja. Jadi, temperature, suhu. Mengapa? Kerana suhu pada air panas adalah lebih tinggi daripada air sejuk. Mesti nyatakan apakah faktor dia. Jadi apakah hubung gaib dia? Jadi temperature atau suhu air panas lebih tinggi daripada air sejuk. Oleh itu, the kinetic energy of water molecule is higher, or the sugar can dissolve faster because the sugar can vibrate faster, or the force of attraction between the sugar particle can be overcome easily kerana suhu lebih tinggi. Tapi bukan semua orang nak terangkan suhu. Jadi mereka juga katakan, boleh saya terangkan size dia? Ya, boleh. Kamu juga boleh terangkan situasi dua. Situasi dua ialah size gula, size of sugar, or total surface area of sugar. Then some of you say that, kalau saya tidak tulis perkataan total, ada masalah. Ada. Mesti ada istilah total. So total surface area of sugar. You need to mention it. Then mengapa? Jadi total surface area of fine sugar is higher or larger, lebih besar. Jumlah luas permukaan gula pasir adalah lebih besar daripada gula cube. Kalau lebih besar, apa akan terjadi? Yes, the total surface area of fine sugar exposed to water is larger or bigger or higher. Jadi kita boleh terangkan fenomena ini dengan tepatnya. Jadi baca soalan, baca soalan dan berikan penjelasan anda dengan tepat. Dengan tepat. Jadi jangan risau, jangan risau. Kamu dapat menjawab soalannya dengan baik. Seterusnya kita akan lihat soalan yang sangat-sangat biasa kamu jumpa. Okey, jadual. Kalau tengok jadual, maka kita mesti pandai cari hubung guide yang ada. Apakah hubung guide yang ada di sini? Jadi kamu mesti bacakan soalan dan kamu cari hubung guide yang selalu kita lihat untuk menerangkan ataupun menyelesaikan masalah yang kita hadapi. Jadi 25 cm cubic of 0.2 molar sulfuric acid, 25 cm cubic of 0.4 molar. Highlight ini sudah tidak sama ni, 0.2, ini 0.4, tidak sama. Jadi semua acid adalah sama kan? Semua acid adalah sama. Kalau kita sudah tahu acid sama, kita sambung seterusnya. 25 cm cubic of 0.4 molar sulfuric acid. So, molarity is the same. Then you can coming out with 1 cm cubic of copper 2 sulfate solution. What is the function of copper 2 sulfate solution? Apa kegunaannya? Okay, this is a catalyst or this is munking. Kita tahu munking. Okay, kalau kita merujukkan kepada situasi soalan ini, adakah tindak balas sudah habis dalam masa yang kita ada ini? Because the question mentions that time taken to collect 50 cm cubic of hydrogen gas. Kalau sini nyatakan masa yang digunakan untuk mengutip 50 cm padu gas hidrogen masuk, tindak balas ini sebenarnya belum lengkap lagi. Hanya mereka tetapkan apakah masa yang diperlu untuk mengutip 50 cm padu air gas tersebut. Jadi, set 1 90 saat, set 2 70 saat, set 3 55 saat. Jadi, berdasarkan di sini manakah satu mempunyai kadar tindak balas yang paling tinggi. So you can find out that the rate of reaction set 3 should be highest, followed by set 2, then set 1. Okay, so question here, can you sketch the graph of volume of gas against time for set 1, set 2, and set 3 on the set axis? Banyak pelajar tidak lihat perkataan set axis, maka mereka akan lukis 3 graf yang berbeza, 1, 2, 3. Tak boleh. Kalau pada paksi yang sama. Kalau pada paksi yang sama, apa perlu kita buat? Mula-mula kita terus lukiskan paksi Y dan paksi X. Lepas lukis, kita cepat-cepat label isi pada air ataupun volume of gas. Mesti nyatakan unit dia dengan betul. Time, masa atau second. Kita dapat idea ini dari soalan. Jadi, bagaimana kita lakarkan graf? Jadi, kamu mesti tunjukkan isi padu dia. Kita nak kutip 50. Jadi, apakah masa dia? 55, 70, 90. Jadi, kita label dulu 55, 70, 90, 50 cm padu. Jadi, bagaimana kita buat? Kita lakarkan garis, jadi sambung terus kepada 50 poin ini. Jadi, seterusnya sambung, ketiga sambung. Jadi, apakah masalah di sini? Kebanyakan pelajar mereka sudah familiar dengan cara lukiskan graf untuk yang tindak balas lengkap. Maka apa yang akan berlaku di sini? Mereka selalunya akan lukiskan graf itu, mereka akan selalu lukiskan graf itu sampai apa? Sampai habis. Maksud sampai habis, cara dia bagaimana? Mereka sudah familiar. Mereka nak lukiskan graf sebagai melintang. Tidak bagi garis putus-putus, tetapi dia bagi solid line. So is it possible for that? Because for this question, actually the reaction is not yet stopped at 50 cm cubic when they collect 50 cm cubic. Jadi kita tidak boleh lukiskan satu garis. Garis di sini. Garis di sini. Kalau kamu lukis garis di sini, itu bermaksud jumlah isi padu maksimum yang dikutip dalam tindak balas ini adalah 50. Bermaksud eksperimen itu tindak balas telah Apabila kita lukis garis curve, maka mesti ingat, jangan lupa, mesti label. Jangan tidak label. Kalau tidak label, maka kita kehilangan markah juga. Jadi seterusnya soalan, kalau kamu baca soalan dan kamu rasa kamu tidak tahu confirm adakah tindak balas ini habis berlaku atau tidak, maka soalan seterusnya akan bagi kamu sini tindak balas belum lengkap lagi. Why I like to say that? You can see that the following is the chemical equation for the reaction between zinc and sulfuric acid. The chemical equation is given. So what is the need of the question here? Can you compare the actual value? Ada lihat istilah ini, actual value of volume of gas, actual volume of gas released in step 1 and step 2. Kerana dia istilah guna actual volume, isi padu yang terbebas, yang sebenarnya itu bermaksud tindak balas itu belum lengkap lagi sebelum ini. Jadi apa yang perlu kita buat? Your answer should be supported with calculation. Your answer should be supported with calculation. So the question asks you to compare means you need to give comments. After that, you're going to support it with calculation. So what we're going to do with this? So number 1, you can find the numbers of mole. After you found your numbers of mole, then go ahead, go and find your information here, 0.2 and 0.4, right? So 25 centimeter cubic, because the zinc that we use is in excess. So we only need to consider the numbers of mole of sulfuric acid. So count the number of mole, 0.005, 0.01. Do the comparison mole ratio. Then the last one, you will calculate the volume. So many students, when they finish calculate the volume, then they just leave the question there. They say that, oh, I finally done. They do the calculation, but you forgot the one of the terms of the question. Compare the volume of the gas. Because the period of the compare, so you need to tell me that, set 2 produce the double volume of gas than set 1. Or you cannot write down the figure. You're going to make the comment here. Set 2 produce the double volume of gas than set 1. So you are able to do the calculation, and from the calculation, you know that the question, when they ask you to plot the graph or to sketch the graph, means that the reaction is not yet complete. So next one, you will be very familiar. Okay, are you able to compare the rate of reaction between set of the experiment and explain your answer? Yes, collision theory, my dear students, is very, very important. How many factors? We have size of the reagent, we have concentration, we have temperature, we have catalyst, and then we have pressure. Only pressure, cannot be applied in a school lab because of what? Pressure you need to apply only when the both reagents or the reagents are in the gaseous state. Or the rest, you actually try out the experiment before, right? So set 1 and set 2 and set 3. What is the factor? They will affect it. So we have 4, right? Don't write down pressure because pressure might have a gas. So look at the question. What is the factor? 0.2, 0.4. Then you say that, ini senang, concentration. 1 and 2 is concentration. Then they ask you to compare 2 and 3. 2 and 3, what is that? 0.4, 0.4 is the same. Copper 2 sulfate is not the same. Oh, catalyst. Also catalyst. So how we can explain to it? Yes, we need to refer to the idea. So first one I use BA, the second one I coming up with the English version explanation. So number 1, you need to tell me that kadar tindak balas. Sekiranya ada istilah kadar, dia mesti kepada lebih tinggi ataupun lebih rendah. Mesti daripada istilah perbandingan. Perbandingan. Jangan nyatakan tinggi. Okay? So, kadar tidak ada istilah cepat ataupun perlahan. Kalau kamu sebut kadar, dia mesti lebih tinggi ataupun lebih rendah. Lebih tinggi ataupun lebih rendah. So, kadar tinabala dalam set 2 adalah lebih tinggi daripada set 1. Mengapa? Sebab apa? Ya, kepekatan asid sulfurik ataupun ion hidrogen dalam set 2 lebih tinggi daripada set 1. Kalau kepekatan lebih tinggi, bermaksud apa? Bilangan ion hidrogen per unit isi padu. Okay, many students actually they don't write per unit volume. They skip per unit volume, but they would like to write it number of hydrogen ion. Bilangan ion hidrogen dalam set 2 lebih tinggi. Tidak cukup. Mesti ada istilah per unit isi padu di sini. Maka apa akan berlaku? Frekuensi pelanggaran antara apakah zara-zara yang terlibat? Zinc dan ion hidrogen dalam set 2 adalah lebih tinggi daripada set 1. Jadi, kalau frekuensi pelanggaran antara zinc dan hidrogen ion lebih tinggi, maka frekuensi pelanggaran perkesan adalah dalam set 2 adalah lebih tinggi. Jadi, istilah ini penting. Okay? So, you're going to be careful when you want to use the term. Okay. Frekuensi pelanggaran berkesan. Spell ejaan mesti betul. Okay, huraian mesti betul. Penggunaan istilah yang tepat adalah sangat penting di sini. Jadi, kalau sudah set 1 dan 2, maka kita lihat set 2 dan 3. Set 2 dan 3. So I go to the English version. Which one shows higher rate of reaction? So rate of reaction in set 3 is higher than set 2. Why? Okay, because copper 2 sulfate. So catalyst is present in set 3. Catalyst is present in set 3. Then if catalyst, what is the main idea of catalyst? So catalyst lower the activation energy. Ingat dia tidak buat apa-apa tetapi dia merendahkan tenaga pengaktifannya. Okay? Jadi kalau dia sudah rendahkan, apa akan berlaku? Ya, more colliding particle. Lebih banyak colliding particle or reacting particle can achieve the lower activation energy in set 3 dan set 2. Jadi, cara untuk kamu ingatkan activation energy adalah sebegini. Okay? Kalau kita semua pergi lompat tinggi. Okay? Kalau kita semua pergi lompat tinggi. Kalau satu kelas ada 30 orang, mereka semua pergi lompat tinggi. Tetapi kalau mula-mula, cikgu set dia ketinggian dia adalah 1.5 meter. Okay. Berapa orang di kalangan kamu boleh melompat menjurus 1.5 meter? Kita katakan tidak banyak, mungkin 2 orang sahaja. Kalau 2 orang, keputusan baik, tidak baik. Jadi, maka apa bila kita buat? Kita katakan, kalau kita turunkan ketinggian ini, jadi kita rendahkan ketinggian ini jadi 0.6 meter. Jadi kalau 0.6 meter, adakah lebih banyak orang boleh melepasi ketinggian ini? Kamu kata, lebih banyak orang boleh melepasi ini. Jadi konsepnya ialah more colliding particle can achieve the lower activation energy. Kalau lebih banyak, maka frekuensi of effective collision between zinc and hydrogen ion in set 3 is higher than set 2. Mesti terangkan ini, mesti terangkan colliding partikelnya sekurang-kurangnya sekali dalam huraian anda. Jadi adalah soalan berkaitan tentang kadar tindak balas. Jadi kadar tindak balas, apa yang perlu kita fokuskan? Faktor. So what are the factors that will affect the rate of reaction? Okay, experiments, okay, and then the collisions theory. So you're going to focus on the part. You need to focus on the part. And next question. Yeah, another question here. Yes. So this is a question 6. Okay. So this is a question 6. So many of you are very excited when you see this question. So when you look at the questions over here, so the diagram show you what? So diagram shows that they have two different solutions, or they have two different solutions. So when you look at these two different solutions, okay, can you tell me that what is the meaning of redox reaction? Okay, I just read for this question, we just write on the screen so that we can make it fast. So what is meant by redox? Apakah yang kamu faham dengan redox ini? Okay, redox reaction ini. Okay, cara kamu ingat adalah senang. Kamu ingat itu redox, dia mesti tulis bersama-sama. Termasuk tindak balas ini mestilah berlaku secara serentak. Mesti berlaku secara serentak. Jadi, what is meant by redox? Okay, chemical reaction where oxidation and reduction occur at the same time. Occur at the same time. So, I want you to come out with it. So, I just write down the answer here. So, you need to tell me that chemical reaction. So, I write here after. So, chemical reaction where oxidation, or whereby oxidation and reduction okay, occur at the same time. Pada masa yang sama. Kalau kamu tidak mau tulis simultaneously, then you can write down at the same time. At the same time. So what we want to see that for the next, if we happen at the same time, so it's just like clapping your hands. So at the same time, occur, right? So now, keyword here is state the meaning of redox reaction. Number 2, can you tell me that is this reaction is a redox reaction? Is it a redox reaction? So terangkan jawapan Anda dari segi perubahan nombor pengoksidaan. Jadi soalan ini kamu sangat-sangat suka. So how are we going to solve the question here? Then we would like to say that if you wish to solve the question, you must able to write out all the oxidation number. Jadi apakah nombor pengoksidaan PB? Apakah nombor pengoksidaan PB dalam PbMO3 bracket 2? So when PB, okay, in a form of compound, PB exists as ion. What is the oxidation number? Positive 2. Then what is the oxidation number of nitrogen and oxygen? Oxygen always has -2. Then what is the oxidation number for nitrogen? Then you need to count N plus 3 times -2. What is the ion for nitrate? MO3 minus. So equal to -1. So N, then we have a positive 5. So you have the positive 5. Okay, show in detail. What is the oxidation number for magnesium in magnesium chloride? Okay, positive 2. Magnesium in magnesium chloride. What is the oxidation number for chlorine? -1. Okay, because we are referring to the ion. Okay, we are referring to the ion. How about magnesium nitrate? Okay, oxidation number is positive 2. Nitrogen, same, positive 5. Oxygen, okay, same, -2. So what is the oxidation number for lead? Okay, positive 2. Okay, -1. So now the question here, determine whether the reaction is a redox reaction. Is it a redox reaction? Then you say that, okay. Then you say that this is a redox reaction. Then you say that, no, this is not the redox reaction, right? Not the redox reaction, huh? Not the redox reaction. Why this is not the redox reaction? Therefore, I want you to do the comparisons over here. How we do the comparison? So you need to compare the oxidation number for each element before the reaction, before. So you see +2, okay, +2. Okay, you need to compare before and after, right? So +5, okay, +5. And then you need to compare with your oxygen. Before it's -2, after it's -2. So you can write down, okay, you can copy down the chemical equation. Okay, you can copy down the chemical equation. Then you can write down the oxidation number, okay, below the element. Each of the elements. Some of the students will say that for the nitrate, can I just assume it is the MO3 minus? No, you're going to write down the oxidation number one by one. Semua itu kamu perlu tulis. Semua itu kamu perlu tulis dan nyatakan. Jadi nyatakan dengan jelas. Okay? Nyatakan dengan jelas. Jadi apabila nyatakan dengan jelas, okay, this one, apabila kita menyatakan jelas, we have the point number 3 over here. Then point number 4, we give a overall conclusion. Apakah conclusion kita? Okay, kita akan katakan, okay, all the oxidation number of elements remain unchanged. All the oxidation number of elements remain unchanged. Tiada perubahan. So you are able to explain it. So in terms of oxidation number, so if you wish to answer the question for the redox reaction, you must be very good in the definition of oxidation, donate electron, oxidation number increases, gain oxygen. Reduction, receive the electron, oxidation number decreases, and then you are able to tell me that it will gain hydrogen. Okay, so this is the one. So second part of the question, I want you to have a look. Okay, iron is extracted from iron ore, Fe2O3, using coal. Coal is the carbon. The production of iron in industry is represented by the following chemical equation. So you can have a look at the chemical equation. So they say that if the factory is able to process 480 kilograms of iron ore per day, iron ore. So sila tengok ini iron ore dia. Iron ore bermaksud biji besi. Biji besi bermaksud ialah Fe2O3. Jangan salah lihat di sini. The iron ore. Some of the students they ignore the ore. Then they say that teacher, is it go for the iron? No, iron ore. Fe2O3 per day by using a set code. Calculate the mass of iron produced. So once again, the equation is given. And how we gonna to solve the problem? Jadi istilah yang paling penting di sini adalah 480 kg. Okay. Jadi which formula we can use to do our calculation? Mole equal to mass over molar mass. Sisi molar. Tapi masalah di sini, apakah unit sisi molar? Sisi molar ialah gram per mole, kan? Gram per mole. Jadi ini kg, ini G, unit sama, unit tidak sama. Kalau unit tidak sama boleh bahagi, tidak boleh bahagi. Jadi kamu mesti tukarkannya kepada Okay, 1 kg mesti sama dengan 1000 joule. 1000 gram. Ini adalah satu part bahagian yang kamu perlu ambil perhatian. 1 kg equal to 1000 gram. So how we do the calculation? Number 1, okay, found the mole. Yeah, lepas tu, yes, mole ratio, nisbah mole. Then third one, you go for your answer with the correct unit. So they want you to find the mass of iron, jisim besi yang cair. Jadi, mula-mula kamu mesti carilah apakah jisim molar, mass, iron, 3, oxide. Jadi, total up 160. Jadi, langkah seterusnya, okay, di sini peringatan saya tadi, mestilah tukarkan kepada unit G. Tidak boleh guna 480 divided by 160. Jadi mesti tukar. Jadi 160. Jadi kamu akan dapat 3000 mol. Jadi buatlah nisbah mol daripada, okay, di sini daripada persamaan kimia 2 mol iron 3 oxide akan menghasilkan 4 mol iron. Jadi kalau 2 mol menghasilkan 4 mol, maka 3000 akan menghasilkan 6000 mol. Jadi jisim yang kita ada adalah 6000 darab 56 gram. Kamu akan dapat 33600 gram. Ataupun kamu nak tukarkannya kepada kg. Mesti kalau kamu nak ingat tukar, mesti tukar dengan nisbah yang betul lah. Jadi bahagian itu kadang-kadang ada pelajar, kalau mereka salin jawapan, mereka sifar ataupun lebih banyak ataupun kurang. Berhati-hati semasa anda mencatat jawapan anda. Dan mesti kenakan istilah yang betul. Okay, seterusnya. Okay, can you identify can you determine the oxidation number of iron in compound Fe2O3? Okay, so some of you will say that, oh, iron 3 oxide, so the oxidation number is positive 3. Yes, correct. Or if you wish to calculate it, so Fe2O3 equal to 0. So 2 times 2 Fe. We would like to say that this is a 2 Fe. Okay, 2 Fe plus 3 oxygen. Oxygen is a minus 2 equal to 0. So 2 Fe equal to, move to another side, positive 6. So Fe is positive 3. So what we're going to give the name for this, we would like to name it as besi 3 oxida, ferrum 3 oxida, or iron 3 oxide. So please take note, they must have the huruf normal Roman di sini mesti betul. Mesti 1, 2, 3, mesti betul. Okay, next question, your favorite one. Yes. So what is our next question here? Soalan berikut. Okay, soalan berikut adalah berkaitan tentang pengkaratan besi. Okay, pengkaratan besi. Jadi apa yang kita nak kaji di sini? We want to study the effect of other metal on rusting of iron. How we want to find it? So for set 1, iron nail is coiled with metal R. So first one, iron nail is coiled with metal R. Then the second one, the iron is coiled with metal X. So one iron nail is with R, another one here, iron is with X. With X. So one by one. So you need to coming up with this idea. You need to coming up with this idea. Okay, compare to this. Okay, compare to this. So I want you to have a look with this dark blue color font. Dark blue color font, and then pink color font. So why they have dark blue color? So you will find out that because now in this explanation here, you will find out that the both iron now, colloidal iron now, they are dipped into hot jelly solutions containing potassium hexacyanide 3 solutions and phenolphthalein. Oh, we have these two. Oh, we have these two. So what is the main function of potassium hexacyanide? It to deplete the iron's 2 ions. If they have the iron 2 ion, we can see the dark blue coloration. Oh, we can see the dark blue coloration. Then what is the function of phenolphthalein? Phenolphthalein is mainly used to deplete the hydroxide ion. If they have presence of hydroxide ion, then we can see the pink coloration. So this is the information we can obtain from the question. So when you look at this question, how are we going to analyze it? So now you'll find out that metal R is coated with iron. So you see dark blue color. When you see dark blue color, meaning that you have Fe2 positive ion, which substance will be oxidized. So R or your iron now. So some of you will say that, oh, the formation of iron to ion means that iron oxidized to iron to ion by donating electron. So when only iron atom donate electron, it will form iron to ion. So when you refer to these two cases, so what is the information we can have for here? So we say that iron is more electropositive. Then we can have the idea iron is more electropositive than R. That's why iron atom donate electron to form iron. So iron is the one donate electron or undergo oxidation in this case. Then you come up with the second metal X, iron now. Can you see pink color? Can you see dark blue color? No dark blue color. How no dark blue color? Only can see pink color, mean only have hydroxide ion. Okay, if hydroxide ion, how is the formation of hydroxide ion? Oxygen that dissolve in water, when they receive electron, they will form you with the hydroxide ion. So why? Then we say that no Fe2 positive ion, right? Then when you refer to this idea that how we're going to make the conclusion here, so we say that, oh, because S is more electropositive than your iron now. That's why, okay, we cannot see Fe2 positive. So X will donate electron, X atom will donate electron. The electron will be received by oxygen and water to form hydroxide ion. So in this question, which metal, which iron now rust? Which iron now rust? Then you say that, how do you say that? In this case, step 1, iron now rust. So this is, we do the analysis. So in step 2, iron now does not rust. We analyze the question first before we start to answer the question. Okay, after analyze, so already found the keyword, okay, then I want you to coming up with the questions here. So what is the question? Then from this question, you will say that based on the observation, suggest metal R as metal X. Can you suggest what is the suitable identity for R and X? So you will say that, oh, now R is less electropositive than iron, because iron is more electropositive than R. So where is the location of R? Less electropositive metal, okay, less electropositive metal always has a more positive inert value, or more positive inert value. Then X is more electropositive, so X should have a more negative inert value. So you think about that. What are the metal which are more electropositive than iron? What are the metals that are less electropositive than iron? Yeah, so refer to the E0 value, the standard electrode potential, you can find the answer, or you can find the ideal metal which is more electropositive than iron, such as zinc, magnesium. Okay, metals that are less electropositive than iron, like tin, like lead, like copper, right? So question 1, based on the observation, suggest the metal R and S. Explain why there is a difference in the observation. Mengapa ada perbezaan? Include your answer, the half equation. Okay, you see, half equation for oxidation reaction, and state the metals that are oxidized. So in your step 1 and step 2, you need to explain it one by one. So how we are able to answer it or come out with the answer. So metal R, it can be copper, tin, lead, up to you. So I just put down 1. Metal S can be your zinc or magnesium or aluminum. Then what is the based on the observation? How are you going to explain it? So we relate it to, because the question is pengkaratan besi, rusting of iron. So we give comment, iron rust in set 1, iron does not rust in set 2. So we can put down in a table for set 1, set 2. Iron rust, iron does not rust. Why? Reason, iron is more electropositive than R. F is more electropositive than iron. So for sure, you can also, mention that R is less electropositive than iron. No problem. Then why we can see the blue coloration and pink coloration? Because in step 1, iron to ion is formed. Because in step 2, hydroxide ion is formed. Then you need to write down the half equation for the oxidation. So Fe becomes Fe2 positive, 2E. Then here you can come up with the X because X is name it as zinc. So you can write down Zn becomes Zn2 positive, 2E. So you're going to answer here which metal is oxidized. So iron is oxidized. Here you can write X is oxidized or zinc is oxidized according to the question answer that you mentioned in above. So if you write magnesium here, then here you can write magnesium is oxidized. So this is the type of comparison question. So this one rust, this one does not rust. Why? Okay, iron more electropositive than R, F more electropositive than iron. So we do the comparisons over here. So you're going to take note of what are the metals can be a substitution metal. Only a more electropositive metal can be a substitution metal. They will donate electron to a less electropositive metal. If iron paired up with a less electropositive metal, then iron will be more electropositive. So iron now will be the substitution metal because iron needs to donate electron to the less electropositive metal. That's why we say that a more electropositive metal, logam yang lebih electropositive, can prevent or inhibit the rusting of iron, or boleh mengurangkan ataupun menghalang pengkaratan besi. Okay, metal which is less electropositive than iron, it will speed up the rusting. But logam yang kurang electropositive daripada besi akan menambahkan atau mempercepatkan pengkaratan besi. So, more electropositive metal protect iron from rusting. Less electropositive metal cannot. So this is the questions coming out with your redox equilibrium. Okay, redox equilibrium. And now we can proceed with some of the questions here. So what is the next question here? So question 8. Yeah, question 8. Yeah, and some of you will say that, yeah, This is the topic. Which topic? Carbon compound. So after we have the chapter 1, then we have chapter 2. So many students will say that this is the most challenging chapters in form 5, right? So 1 and 2, right? Don't panic with the question, then you are able to answer it. So what is the clue to study the chapter 2 carbon compound? Apakah tips dia? Kita mesti tahu apa? Jadi pertama kita mesti tahu series homologous series. Okay, we must know all the homologous series. We must know their general formula arm. Okay, kita mesti tahu functional group dia, kumpulan berfungsi. Satu. Kedua, tindak balas kimia yang melibatkan pertukaran series homolog conventions of the homologous series. Okay, then number 3, for sure they have experiments you need to focus. Then the last part will be the isomerism or isomerism. So now I want you to coming out with the diagram here. Diagram 3 shows a bottle of an air perfume used in a living room called minyak wangi. Substance that is the main component found in the perfume. Bahan zat itulah bahan utama dia. Substance that is produced from a reaction between an alcohol X and carboxylic acid 1. What is the alcohol X that can be used to produce substance Z? Apakah substance Z? Kalau kita sudah tengok, kalau kita sudah nampak clue soalan di sini, apakah clue soalan? Kita lihat, oh dia mempunyai C double bond OO. Kalau C double bond OO, maka kita tahu ini adalah carboxylate, kan? This one is a carboxylate group. Kalau carboxylate group is belong to which homologous series? Yes, ester or ester. So how we going to find out that other information? Jadi kita mesti tahu bahagian di sini. Okay, bahagian yang mengandungi C double bond OO, this is come from carboxylic acid. Okay, part 1 comes from carboxylic acid. Part 2 is must come from alcohol. So what is the carboxylic acid we need to use for this experiment? So carboxylic acid, okay, what is the general formula for carboxylic acid? So CnH2n, change the blue color, 2n plus 1 COOH. You see COOH. Alcohol, CnH2n plus 1 OH. So this is the general formula we need to take note of that. So how many C? 3C. How many C? 1C or 1C. So we read the question now. Okay. Write the general formula for alcohol X. Apakah general formula? Identify alcohol X, carboxylic acid Y, and substance Z and substance Z. So you will find out that the question here, they just coming up with what? Or they just coming up with the identify. Nyatakan. Boleh beri nama, boleh beri formula juga. Jadi formulaan untuk alkohol sudah kita tahu kan? Kita hanya tuliskan jawapannya di sini. Okay. CnH2n plus 1 OH. What is the alcohol X? Alcohol X 3. Hitung 1, 2, 3. Jadi C3H7OH ataupun propanol. Apakah ialah carboxylic acid? Satu C sahaja. Satu C ialah apa? Meth, METH, methanoic acid ataupun HCOOH. Tambah di belakang H di sini sudah cukup. Maka apakah bahan Z? Propyl methanoate. Okay, propyl methanoate. Okay, this one I have a typo and to change. Propyl, P-R-O-P-Y-L. This one is typo. P-R-O-P-Y-L. Propyl methanoate. Or you can write down the formula as well. So from the diagram, you are able to find out that, give the general formula, and then perform the structural formula, you are able to predict the alcohol, carboxylic acid, and then the name or the formula of the propyl methanol. Okay, questions 2 here. So by using alcohol X and carboxylic acid Y identified in A1, okay, describe briefly how you can prepare substance Z. Bagaimana kamu boleh menghasilkan substance Z dalam makmal? Okay, name the reaction. Name the reaction. Apakah tindak balas ini? Kalau acid, carboxylic acid bertindak balas dengan alkohol, apakah nama tindak balas ini? Okay, esterification or pengesteran. Okay, in your description, include the chemical equation. So how are we going to do it in this? So number 1, name the reaction. So pengesteran or esterification. Number 2, describe briefly, termasuk kamu mesti terangkan bagaimana kamu menjalankan eksperimen ini. Okay, untuk eksperimen ini, kamu mesti gunakan isi padu yang sedikit. Kalau guna isi padu yang banyak, contohnya beaker, okay, just imagine if you pour 20 centimeter cubic of alcohol into a beaker, 20 centimeter cubic of carboxylic acid in a beaker, the reaction will produce the ester. Ester is a very flammable, so at that time it's easily catch fire. So gonna to use a small quantity and then with a suitable apparatus. For example, boiling tube. Jadi bagaimana caranya adalah senang. Kamu ingat bagaimana kita buat ester. Oh, ester. Okay. Ingat ini. Tambah A or tambah acid. Or you add in acid. Or you add in acid. You add in acid or you add in alcohol. Which one comes first after later? Okay, you add in A. Then after that you add in carboxylic acid. Okay, you add in carboxylic acid. Okay, so I just draw the simple diagram. So after that, what we're going to do is add in. So the reaction is very slow. We need to add in a few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid. Then we heat the mixture. How we heat the mixture? Heat the mixture. So this is a general procedure for you to understand it. You just mix them together. So use a test tube, no beaker. So must mention the volume. So 2 to 5 centimeter cubic of alcohol X. Measure, pour into boiling tube. 2 to 5 carboxylic acid Y, or you can write down the name that you identified before. Measure and pour into the boiling tube, same boiling tube. Next, what we do? Many students actually forgot to add in the concentrated sulfuric acid. Don't forget to add in concentrated sulfuric acid. So, because we need it as a catalyst to increase the rate of reaction, must mention keyword concentrated. It cannot be dilute, must be concentrated. So mixture, heat gently. After heat gently, what we do? So we pour into beaker filled with water. So what is the product? So after that, we say that liquid with fruity smell is produced. So liquid with fruity smell is a substance Z, bahan Z tersebut. Then last part, write down the chemical equation. HCOOH plus C3H7OH. Then we have a HCOO. Then we have a C3H7. The byproduct is H2O. So you are able to describe the experiment to produce ester. Okay, ester. So another question for the part here. Okay, I want you to have an idea. So state the functional group of substance Z. Calculate the mass of substance Z when 0.05 mole of alcohol X is used in the reaction. What is the functional group? Okay, so the questions here ask you to state. Kalau dia kata state, you can write down the name carboxylate ataupun write down carboxylate, or you just write down COO. And some of you may say that, can I just draw? Okay, you can just draw, no problem. Okay, you can just draw, no problem. Then coming up with the next question. Okay, you already have a chemical equation on the top, right? And now what we have it. So you already know that mole ratio is 1, 1, 1, 1. So they say that if you're given with 0.05 mole, how many mole of ester will be formed? Yes, they give you molar mass is 88. So what we do, we just come up with mole ratio, okay, alcohol X and substance Z. On equation is 1 and 1. So if I have 0.05 mole of alcohol X, it can produce 0.05 mole of Z. Then mole times molar mass, you have a mass 4.4 grams. So direct calculate, then you have the answer. Must keep the answer with a correct unit. Oh, don't forget that. So you can see that many examples that are given here is involve a calculation. So don't scare about the calculation. Always follow, write a balanced chemical equation, find the mole ratio, answer with correct unit. Okay, so next one. Okay, I think today we share a lot of different patterns of AC questions for you. So here is another one. You come up with the diagram shows the percentage composition of a saturated fat and unsaturated fat in two different cooking oil. Cooking oil P, 10% of saturated fat. Some of you will say that, what is a saturated fat? Saturated fat means that it only consists of carbon-carbon single bond. Okay, so unsaturated meaning that, okay, it consists of at least one carbon-carbon double bond. Okay, there we would like to coming up with this. Cooking oil P, it contains 90% of unsaturated fat. Okay, then cooking oil Q contains 35% of unsaturated fat. Means that you have less. Then we come up with this information. So we would like to find out that what is our main idea of the saturated fat and unsaturated fat. Saturated fat is good for your health or not? So many of us will say that saturated fat is good for our health. But the question here is, if we come out with the deep frying, so the oil with carbon-carbon double bond or saturated fat, it tends to react with oxygen and it can form you with a harmful substance, or it will have you a harmful substance. So this is the basic concept we need to have it. So when you look at it, so you need to take note here. If we have unsaturated fat, okay, they have a lot of carbon-carbon double bond, right? So if they have a lot of carbon double bond, so when you go for deep frying, then what will happen? Deep frying means that the carbon-carbon double bond, it will produce a harmful substance. The double bond tends to react with oxygen. So the phenomenon of the question, so Amina choose the oil Y for deep frying, or Amina choose the oil Q, oil Q for deep frying. So does Amina make the correct choice? Adakah dia buat pemilihan yang tepat atau tidak kalau untuk deep frying? Jadi kita katakan adalah tepat. Yes. She made the correct. She made the correct choice. Why? Because we say that cooking oil Q contain higher percentage of composition of saturated fat. Kalau dia mempunyai saturated fat yang lebih banyak, termasuk dia mempunyai single bond, more carbon single bond. Jadi cooking oil Q less tends to react with oxygen gas, less harmful compound is produced. So mainly go for deep frying. Menggoreng. Jadi kita pilih adakah pilihan yang betul. Ya, pilihan dia adalah betul dan tepat. So this is one of the questions asking you to give a comment. After you give your comment, you need to support with explanation. Support with the explanation. this is a carbon compound. Okay, so last question that I choose for today's discussion is a topic of salt. Yes, diagram 8.1 shows the flow chart for a copper salt. Almost only have copper salt. So copper to chloride, go for reactions 1, we form copper to carbonate and salty. So when copper 2 chloride react with solution X, we form copper 2 carbonate and salty. So what is the X? Okay, how are we going to find out the answer? So CuCl2, kita tulis, kita isi tempat kosong. Okay, then we put down a bracket over here. So coming out with the answer, we have what we have. We have copper 2 carbonate. And then we have a T. Okay, we have a T. So here we have a T. Okay, we have a T. So now, what we're going to solve the question, how are we going to solve the question? So I want you to come up with it. Copper 2 carbonate soluble or insoluble? This is the insoluble. So garam tidak terlarutkan. Kalau garam tidak terlarutkan, apakah bahan di sini? It must be a soluble salt solution. This is how we analyze the question. So copper 2, okay, copper 2 carbonate. Then how we going to find out the answer? So you see, I already have copper. I already have copper over here. But do I have carbonate? So no. So meaning that another chemical substance that I choose here must have carbonate. What are the carbonates that are soluble in water? Yes, in our mind, we have sodium carbonate or potassium carbonate. Immediately we have two. So if we choose sodium carbonate, what is the salt T? So this is T. Then you say that, oh, salt T can be your salt, can be the sodium chloride. What can be the sodium chloride? So balancing equations is 2. So solution X, if you use sodium carbonate, then salt T is the NaCl. But some of you say that, okay, if I use potassium carbonate, yes, it will be a KCl. Other than K2Cl3 and Na2Cl3, we still can use the ammonium carbonate. It's up to you. There are many different choices here. So you have another product here. So ammonium chloride. So now you highlight with this. Then next, which one will react with acid Z to form copper 2 sulfate, gas Y, and water? Then we write down copper 2 carbonate. Once again, if we put down a bracket here, then we come out with a Z. So it formula with copper 2 sulfate, a gas, and then water. So what is that? Okay, acid. So they must have acid, or they must have acid H. So we would like to look at this way. So when you see that we have a carbonate, or when you see that we have carbonate, if we have carbonate, then we say that, oh, they must have a carbon dioxide gas form, CO2. So what is the byproduct? Then you can compare like this. Okay, you can compare. I have copper, I have copper. I have C, I have C. I have O, I have O. I have H. So what I didn't mention here, HSO4. So I have sulfuric acid. So I can put down sulfuric acid. That's why I can find that my Z is sulfuric acid. My Y is carbon dioxide gas. So after you analyze the question, okay, then we can start to answer the following question. So copper 2 chloride can be converted to copper 2 carbonate by reactions 1. Then copper 2 carbonate react with acid Z to produce copper 2 sulfate through reactions 2. Name the reactions 1. Identify solution X, gas Y, and acid Z one by one. So answer, simple one, because identify. So reactions 1, okay, produce a insoluble salt precipitate, double decomposition or penguraian ganda 2. So what is the solution X? Can be, just now we mentioned, sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate, ammonium carbonate. You can write down the name or you can write down the formula. So what is the Y? Carbon dioxide. Write down the name or formula. Z, acid sulfuric or sulfuric acid. Okay, up to you. Or the formula. Settle with question 1. Number 2. Using the solution X identified in A1, describe briefly how you can prepare copper to carbonate in your description. Include the chemical equation for the reaction. So how are we going to find out here? So let's say you choose sodium carbonate, copper 2 chloride and sodium carbonate. How are we going to explain it? So for this type of question, I would like to remind you that a suitable apparatus would be a beaker. What is a suitable volume you can fill in? 20 to 100 centimeter cubic. What is a suitable molarity for the solution? You're going to mention solution, molarity of the solution. Actually, many students forgot to mention it. 0.1 to 2 mole per decimeter cubic. Must include in your explanation of the volume and the molarity. Must include. So come up with this beaker, 20 to 100 centimeter cubic. Molarity 0.1 to 2 mole per decimeter cubic. So how are we going to do it? So double the composition. We just mix the two solutions together. Okay. So 50 centimeter cubic of 1 molar copper 2 fluoride solution, measure and pour into a beaker. Next, 50 centimeter cubic of 1 molar sodium carbonate solution is measured and pour into another beaker, into the same beaker. So you just come up with this. At first, we have copper 2 chloride. After that, we just mix the sodium carbonate. When two different chemicals is mixed together, what we need to do? What we need to do? Yes, correct. The term that come out in your mind is correct. So we need to stir. We need to stir. After we stir, what we can observe over here. So some of the precipitate is formed. When precipitate is formed, how are we going to obtain the precipitate? The precipitate is a copper 2 carbonate. How am I going to obtain this copper 2 carbonate? So you say that, oh, I need to filter it. After I filter it, meaning that maybe some of the soluble salt was remaining on the surface. So what I need to do? Yes, then you tell me that, oh, we need to rinse with water. Then last, we dry with filter paper. Yes. So after that, we say that the mixture is stirred with a glass rod, kacau dengan rod kaca. Then mixture is filtered to rust. Baki turasan or baki turasan itu yang atasnya. Or baki turasan, we want to get the one above, right? Atas sahaja, okay? Or baki turasan atas. So, or residue ataupun pepecah hijau, okay, dibilas dengan air. Jangan tulis dicuci dengan air. Kita gunakan perkataan rinse. Rinse, dibilas dengan air suning. Lepas tu, kita dry dengan filter paper. Okay, last, we write down the chemical equation. So chemical equation, it depends on what are the carbonate soap that you use. If you use sodium carbonate, you have sodium chloride. If you use potassium carbonate, you have potassium chloride. If you use ammonium carbonate, you have ammonium chloride. Depends on. So next question. Okay, huraikan satu ujian kimia untuk mengenal pasti anion yang hadir dalam larutan garam-T. Apa garam-T? Tadi, kalau kamu guna sodium carbonate, garam-T kita adalah NaCl. Garam kita adalah NaCl. Jadi, anion. Mana satu ialah anion? Anion termasuk negatively charged ion. So, Na positive, L minus. Jadi ujian adalah berdasarkan chloride ion. Bagaimana kita nak uraikan anion test? Many students actually they are very scared about the anion test and cation test. You remember that NSC, National Science Challenge, they're always the best competitions among all. So if I want to test the chloride ion, I just need to think about this one. Okay, I just need to think about this one. If I want to test the chloride ion, okay, chloride ion, what I need to do? Yeah, I will add in acid. All the anion tests will start with acid. Semua anion test mula dengan acid. Mesti mula dengan acid. So I need to start with acid. So start from here, copy from here. I need to add in with nitric acid, followed by AgNO3 aqueous, silver nitrate solution. Later on, I would like to know that what is the relationship in between these three. Okay. White precipitate is formed. Students know white precipitate, but they don't know which one is white precipitate. If I want to test the sulfate ion, I can add in hydrochloric acid, followed by barium chloride solution. It also gives you a white precipitate. My dear, I want you to take note with it, how to remember this side. You see this one, A, B, C combination. You can see ABC over here, or you can see ABC over here. It helps you to remember that how you're going to use the reagent to identify it. The procedure is simple and nice only. So anion, what is the anion? It's a chloride ion. Because the question is telling you it's a salty, guarantee. It might be a solid state or it can be a solid state. So number one, salty is dissolved in water. Because we want to do the quantitative analysis, right? So the volume of the chemical that we use must be in a small quantity, sangat sedikit. Jangan kata 20 cm baju dalam beaker, jangan terlalu banyak. So a little bit, 1 to 2 is just nice, or 1 to 2 is just nice. So 1 to 2, okay, solution T, pour into a test tube. Then how we do it? Yeah, follow here. 2 cm cubic of nitric acid ditambahkan. Lepas tu diikuti dengan 2 cm padu larutan acetyl nitrate. Jadi mesti nyatakan istilah larutan. Larutan itu penting. Kalau tak, juga tulis isi padunya. Jadi apa yang akan kita lihat? Okay, mentakan putih terbentuk. Kalau mentakan putih terbentuk, maka ujian Florida hadir. Jadi ini adalah ujian pengesahan ion negative, anion test, right? Okay, then the last part of the question, yes. So diagram 8.2 shows the two types of fertilizer. So fertilizer A and fertilizer B. One is the urea, you know the urea. Another one is ammonium sulfate, right? Jadi dalam soalan ini dia kata banyak cerita dia diberikan. Dia kata tumbuhan plants, okay, they need the nitrogen as a major component yang utama untuk klorofil. Okay, tumbuh-tumbuhan, maka dia akan tukarkan tenaga menghasilkan gula dan air. Apakah istilah yang paling penting? Merupakan komponen bagi asid amino pembentukan protein. Jadi dia kata oleh itu kebanyakan baja mempunyai peratusan, ini adalah istilah penting, mempunyai peratusan nitrogen yang tinggi untuk pertumbuhan tanaman. Jadi kita lihat di sini, okay, most fertilizer have high content of nitrogen for the growth of plants. Jadi Pak Ali pilih baja B sebagai baja untuk sayur-sayurannya. Adakah Pak Ali membuat pilihan yang betul? Kita tahu kalau kita nak pilih baja itu mesti mengandungi peratusan nitrogen atau mengikut ginseng yang lebih tinggi. Jadi Pak Ali kata saya pilih B, ammonium sulfate. Jadi adakah pilihan Pak Ali itu betul? Jadi kamu akan lihat setiap kali dia nak kamu buat penilaian dan penjelasannya. Jadi Pak Ali adakah betul? Jadi kamu katakan tidak. Mengapa? Jadi kamu tunjukkan perhitungan dia, percentage of nitrogen by mass. Okay, ratusan nitrogen mengikuti pada A, hitung. Lepas tu, kamu juga hitung percentage of baja B, hitung. Jadi, kamu akan katakan mengapa tidak betul? Kerana percentage of nitrogen by mass of fertilizer B is lower. It's less suitable for the growth of the plant. So based on this question, you always tell me to make an evaluation. Terangkan ya atau betul atau salah. Kalau betul, mengapa betul? Kalau salah, mengapa salah? Correct choice or not the correct choice, then it gives the reason to support your answer. So this is a 4-mark question. So my dear students, okay, we only have about 1 month plus before your SPM examination. Okay, don't give up. Yes, don't give up. Prepare yourself well. So always start to do revision and master all the basic and important concepts, right? Chemical equations, diagrams, numerical problem solving, okay? Calculation. So memorize all the important facts and process. Practice past year questions. So some of the topics in past year questions, you can use it as a revision. Practice all the trial paper and always read the questions carefully. And know the need of the questions and answer it correctly. And don't forget that the format of the SPM. So paper 1, you have objective questions, and paper 2, you have 8 structural questions. Answer all, and then you have section B, 2 essay questions. You answer 1, and the last one, section C, most important, you only have 1 essay question. You need to answer 1. So if you need to do your correct time management when you answer the question. So with that, all the best to you, okay, for you in your future SPM examination. So thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, Cikgu Francisca, for your wonderful and fruitful sharing just now. Okay, so for your information, to all the participants, we know that many students might not be able to join this event today since they might have extra class or tuition. So no worries, this video will be uploaded on our YouTube channel and links will also be shared with the counselors. Okay, so now we will proceed to the next session. So for the Q&A session, if you to not waste your data, we would like you to have to ask if you have any question. You may ask in our Telegram group chat, and we will invite the tutors, into the Telegram group chat. So if you have any question, you can directly ask in the group chat. Then we hope that so to not waste any more time, we will now move on to the cert of appreciation. Okay. Para hadirin, pihak SPM IBUS amat berbesar hati dapat bekerjasama dengan Cikgu Francisca untuk sesi kali ini. Cikgu Francisca, on behalf of SPM IBUS, we truly appreciate all your sharing during the session today. As a token of appreciation, we would like to present you with the cert of appreciation. May this be enough to show you how grateful we are that you are able to slot us in your busy schedule. Let us celebrate this collaboration by clicking the applause icon in the reaction option. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So now we will be before moving on to the last session, which is the lucky draw session, everyone, if any one of you haven't filled in the Google form just now, please do so now. We have the lucky draw session will start in 2 to 3 minutes. Students, to all participants, please please find the Google link in the chat box and fill in if you haven't do so. Yeah, we'll have, meanwhile, if you have filled in the Google form, you may enjoy the video that we have prepared for you. Okay, so I believe all of you have filled in the Google form by now through the link that is available in the chat box. So without further delay, without wasting your time, we will now proceed to the very last session, which is the lucky draw session. All right. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now, for your information, the prize for your lucky draw will be a 20 ringgit hot cross bun voucher and a 200 ringgit study voucher at RIAM Institute of Technology. So if you have any family members, relatives or friends who are available in Miri, if you are not in Miri, please feel free to ask them to come and collect it from us. Yeah, so if you are in Miri, yeah, it will be it is even better, so you can come to collect it with us. Okay, so all right, so let's start now. We will draw 3 names from this lucky draw session. So let's see who is the very first lucky winner. All right, let's see. Wong Shoubin. Is Wong Shoubin here? Yeah, if you are here, can you give me some reaction? You can type in the chat box as well. Wong Shoubin, are you there? Hello? 1, 2, 3. Okay, Wong Shoubin might have left already, so never mind. We will draw another one. Let's see who will be the lucky one. Oh, Amy Yi Xiongning, are you there? Can you give me some reaction? Please, you may open your mic or you can type in the chat box to show that you are still here with us. Amy Yi Xiongning, anybody there? Amy Yi Xiongning, are you still with us? All right. Okay, never mind. Let's draw another one and see who is the next lucky winner. All right. Alexandra Chung, are you still here? Can you give me some reaction? Alexandra Chung Ziyi. Alexandra Chung Ziyi, are you there? Are you still with us? All right, never mind. Let's draw again because we would like to give the chance to those who are still with us, until the very end. All right, Joseph Tiong Ka Hong. Is Joseph Tiong still here? Can you give me some reaction? Any response from you? Joseph Tiong Ka Hong. All right. Okay. Seems like we are okay, never mind. We can draw again. Let's draw again. Okay. Sim Xuan Yi. Wow, Sim Xuan Yi. Are you still there? Sim Xuan Yi? Can you give me some response if you're still here? Okay, let's draw again. Let's draw until someone responds us, yeah? Okay. Wow, who is the lucky winner now? Bong Kong Yong. Is Bong Kong Yong here? Please unmute yourself if you are here. If you are not able to unmute, you can type in the chat box to let me know that you are still here. Bong Kong Yong. Is Bong Kong Yong there? Bong Kong Yong? All right, never mind. Let's have another round. right, Chiu Lam Ying. Is Chiu Lam Ying here? Chiu Lam Ying. Okay, never mind. Let's draw again. Mm. Okay, sorry to have you waiting. Okay, so now seems like everyone is busy. Maybe they're having their extra classes or tuition classes. So the following three votes, three draws will be given to these students, even though they are they do not respond to us. Okay, to not waste any more time. So we will now have our last three votes. Last three draws. Okay, so let's see who will be the lucky winner. All right, Nor Aini Aliha. All right, you will get a hot cross bun voucher and a study voucher with us from us. Okay, so you may come find us. Okay, for more inquiry, you can contact us. The numbers will be available in the chat box later. Okay, so let's see who will be the second lucky winner. Okay, Alvi Wong IB. Okay, congratulations, Alvi Wong. You are the second one, second lucky one to win a voucher from us. Okay, you may come and collect from us. Okay, now let's see the third winner. All right, Joyce Lau Yok Ai, congratulations. You are the third and final winner for our lucky draw session. Okay, so for those winners, if you have any inquiry, please contact us regarding how to get your prize. The numbers will be available in the chat box. So you can please note down the numbers. Okay, so thank you everyone. And now the ceremony has come to its end. If you have any inquiry regarding the Boost SPM program, you may kindly contact us through the number available in the chat box. Once again, thank you everyone for gracing our ceremony with your presence. We truly appreciate it. On behalf of the organizing committees, I would like to apologize if we have done any mistakes throughout the event. So, akhir kalam, kita jumpa lagi untuk bengkel ulang kaji SPM Ibus Biology pada esok hari jam 2:30 petang. I will end my duty as moderator for today's event. Okay, thank you once again to Cikgu Francisca and to all our participants once again. To all students, wishing you success in your exam. Sekian, terima kasih. Thank you and bye-bye.